Welcome to Yard Talk. I'm Greg Rayburn, and I'd like to introduce you to my new co-host, Mary Rayburn.
Cheers! We're here on date night to toast Greg's former partner, Doug Rice, in Yard Talk, and I know he would miss this enchanting talk about septic systems.
We are at Quartermaster Harbor on Vashon Island, and we're with some friends visiting yards with an invisible but very useful feature, septic systems. Septic systems are a good way to clean wastewater when they're working properly. But when they are not maintained, Puget Sound can become Puget Sound.
We have some of the best wastewater treatment and technology here in the Pacific Northwest in the world. And I'm amazed that people aren't more into septic tanks and septic systems like we are. They do a fantastic job cleaning our waters. And today, we don't even know how many septic systems are in King County. Public Health estimates there's somewhere between 80,000 to 100,000 septic systems out there. And many of them are built a long time ago, before the war, World War II.
Failing septics are one source of water pollution and adds what is already flowing off of our roofs, streets, and lawns, as the water carries nitrogen, chemicals, and even pathogens from our properties to the sound.
So today we're going to talk about the mysterious inner workings of septic systems, what they look like and how they're built, and Greg's tips on maintaining your system. So here's to another great date night. Septic systems are an amazing low-tech way to deal with our business. And our expert, Peter Isaacson from Public Health, is here to describe what is going on. And Peter, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mary.
You're in environmental health. What does environmental health mean?
Well, environmental health is here to protect the public from things like raw sewage.
Let's take a moment and visualize that dark, mysterious area of the septic tank. All right, maybe we don't want to go there. What is going on in there that helps protect water quality and prevent disease?
Well, there's a lot of microbes that live in a septic tank that begin the treatment process to break down the waste that we produce in our house before they get out into the environment.
What happens if some of that material escapes? How can a septic tank fail?
Mostly what we're concerned with is disease-causing organisms getting to groundwater or getting to water that we drink or getting to people while they're swimming or bathing in the water. So there's direct effects from these microbes, so we want to keep people from that, but also there's a lot of growth factors that if it gets into the environment, into say Quartermaster Harbor or something like that, you can get growth of organisms that then can affect the shellfish and the fish and the environment in a negative way.
Is that part of the red tides or the beach closures or the dead zones that we see in the news now?
It can be a contributor to that because it's adding a lot more growth factors to that water, and when you add too much growth factors, there's a lot of algae that can grow, and when the algae grows and dies, it takes the oxygen out of the water, and that can be very damaging to the environment.
How about blue toilet additives or other additives? Do they help septics?
Well, it's not a good idea to put harsh chemicals, including those blue chemicals, down there. Additives have not been proven to be that effective. The most important thing is to use your water wisely and to not use any harsh chemicals so that you can keep your septic system working properly.
Thank you, Peter. Now I'm looking at the lowly toilet in a much different light. Hey, let's take this to an outdoor classroom.
The beginning of any septic system is, of course, the drain that comes out of the house. And that is where when you flush your toilet or you wash your hands or you take a shower, the water comes out of your house through the inlet baffle into the first part of the septic tank, which is buried in your yard. The first part of the septic tank job is to separate the scum layer, which is the fats, oils, and grease, which rise to the surface, and the sludge falls to the bottom. In the middle here is where the bacteria are active and start breaking down the organic matter. There's an outlet baffle here. It's a very important part of the septic tank that keeps the water coming out and to keep these fats, oils, and grease and the sludge from getting to the drain field. That then goes from the septic tank, and if you have a pressure distribution system or a mound, or your drain field is up above your house, that will be your pump tank. And any system has a drain field, which is the final disposition of where the water goes back to the environment. It's fairly clear water, but it still has a lot of organic matter in it that gets broken down using oxygen out in the drain field. So it's very important to keep the drain field from getting squished by cars. Don't build a driveway over it. And you want to make sure that you protect that area so you can keep your drain field healthy.
Hey, I have some tips that'll help you keep your septic system healthy. I'm the proud owner of a septic system, so I know firsthand the importance of keeping the system running well so it saves me money in the long run. I'm here at a friend's house and we're going to take a look around his yard and show you tips you can do to keep your system running great. The first step is to find out what kind of system you have. Finding out what kind of system you have can be as easy as checking out the public health website on your phone. There are several different types and each has different needs. Do you have a gravity system? A pressure distribution system? Mound system? It may sound complicated, but it's not. Hey look, my friend Ken has a compliant system and it's a mound system. I can see that right here on the webpage. The next step is to make it easy to maintain your system. You can do this a couple of ways. First, find a local company that can take charge of your maintenance. Set up an annual inspection and have them pump your tank as needed, and that can be anywhere from 2 to 5 years. Having an inspection helps you know when it needs to be pumped. Putting off an inspection can result in very expensive system failures, so be proactive. And that is money I could spend on something more important, like plants. Speaking of plants, although grass is usually used over drain fields, lots of shallow rooting perennials work depending on your system. Our native wild strawberries and most wildflowers can work. This meadow in the forest is actually a mound system. Best to check with your septic designer because these may not work in all areas. Our native ground covers like sword fern and woodland sorrel would also work on a septic system. By keeping your system's inspection ports easily accessible, it makes it really easy to see how your drain field's doing. Hello? Hello? It's doing great. If your system already has easily accessible risers where you can access your septic tank or pump tank, it makes your life a breeze. If you don't have them, you might consider having them installed because it makes it so much easier for both the inspector and yourself to see how your system is doing. Make sure your septic lids are tight and secure though, because you don't want kids or pets toppling into that nasty tank. Your septic tank has billions of microbial employees in there breaking down waste. Keep these microbes happy and healthy by avoiding harsh cleaners, septic additives, and garbage disposal use. Using a garbage disposal can fill your septic tank prematurely and result in more pumping. Instead, compost the material and use it in your garden.
It's you, me, and septic systems, babe.
Another special date night with the Puget Sound as our front yard. I love how our septic system has brought us together. And like any great relationship, we need to inspect, maintain, and repair, and it will provide amazing benefits.
Today we looked at the mysterious inner workings of septic systems, what they're made of, and Greg's tips and tricks on maintaining and saving some cash.
Whether you want assistance with livestock, rain gardens, or septic systems, there is technical and financial help out there. Check out the Yard Talk website for more information.
Because what happens in the yard
Doesn't always stay in the yard.